Luigi. You came together with your readers at the Istanbul Book Fair. Today you have talks in schools. How is your visit to Istanbul going?
Oh, it's going great. I met a lot of kids and young adults also, and also children, and it has been so far so good. I found people, young us, who are very curious, interested in books and in stories. They asked me very, very clever questions. They were interested in not only in the story, but how the story is made, how it's written, and I like to see them, exploring the possibility to become a writer. So it's always, refreshing for my soul to meet them. And honestly, I will fly back to Milano younger than when I came.
Before your books and your identity as a writer, I would like to ask about your main profession. You are also a doctor. How does this profession determine your life? And how does it affect your perspective on life?
Oh, it's a tough question, and it's very interesting because when someone asks to my sons and my daughters, what's your father's job? They're a little bit embarrassed in answering, so they actually don't know what to answer because I have many jobs. But I try to find a kind of unity between them. I would say I started as a medical doctor, and I was, I think, a good doctor. I really like to be in the hospital and dealing with patients and their disease and treating them, curing them. Then the passion to write story pop up, and I started trying to write novels when I was a young doctor. Then for 4, 5, 6 years, no one wanted to publish my books. Thanks to God, they were really awful. Okay, and I received the messages like from the publisher, "Thanks so much. Your book is really great, but there is no room in our publishing house." But anyway, I insisted, and I didn't give up. Then suddenly, I decided to write a story not for adults but for children, and was immediately published by a big editor in Italy, which is Giunti, for kids, and then it started. But I continued to do my job in a hospital. Then unfortunately, I won the Italian Andersen Prize. Unfortunately, because it put the light on me, and suddenly all the publishers that always refused my books started asking me, "Have you got something new for us?" And so I tried to understand maybe it was the very first time I realized that I could be a writer as a profession. Then again, another door opened in my life. I decided to start psychoanalysis in order to be treated as a patient because I didn't feel well. I had a lot of issues with myself and with the life, so I started in doing my analysis, and then suddenly I thought, I could help others as I've been helped by my analyst. So I studied psychoanalysis, and then suddenly I realized that all my jobs has to do with words. Think about also then journalism came, which is again it's a kind of writing, but it's different to write novels than articles. But then I realized that all of my professional sphere is about words, the words that I listen from my young people coming to my office, the words I say to them, the words I write for a novel, the words I write for an article. So I would say that then from real patient, from bodies, my professional life moved to words, and this is a world where I feel well.
Okay, then what kind of kid was Luigi? You grew up in Milano, and what was it like back then?
Okay, Luigi was a very problematic child. I was a very problematic child and a very problematic boy and young man. My first issue was that I was not able to speak in public. So I was very silent, and I was suffering from it because I had something to say, but I was not able. I mean, I couldn't. So the others really didn't know me. I was always hiding. I would have liked to be invisible. This started pretty soon. Then it happened that my mom died when I was pretty young. I was 15. Okay, and this was another big change in my life. Then my father went away, so I grew up by an aunt, and my aunt was really good and great. But then, when I was around 20 something, I decided it was time to do something for my health and for my soul, for my thinking. So I started in having a treatment, a psychoanalysis treatment, and it was really a good idea. I regret that the kid Luigi wasn't as free as he should have been. Maybe he would have acted in a different way, dressed in a different way, behaved in a different way, but I refrained myself a lot. So, but anyway, then you see that I improved in public speaking.
Of course.
I learned how to talk and to manage my ghosts, and it was really a good idea to start taking care of me.
An interview the other day, you said to young people, I compare you to stem cells. What do you mean? Can you explain it?
Oh, yeah. When I studied medicine, I was fascinated by the stem cells because the stem cells are now used for the regenerative medicine, and we call them totipotential. Pluripotential, totipotential. It means they are not differentiated cells that can become everything. So they can become a red blood cell, they can become a part of a muscle, a part of a nerve, a part of a bone, a part of a skin. And when I look at the youngest, I look at them like really stem cells. It means they potentially can become everything. And this is where I believe the literature can really help them, because if you think about novels, and stories, they can live lot of lives without really needing to live them in the real world. So you can become everything in a story. You will become the main character. So you can become a man who is doing bad things, a man who is doing good things. You can become a woman. You can become a professionist. You can do the best or the worst. I love Umberto Eco. Umberto Eco was an Italian writer, and he wrote, if someone doesn't read when he is 70, he has lived only one life. If he's reading, he lived 5,000 lives. And I think this is very nice also for the youngest, because then you can experience, it's a quite a comfort way. You can experience something without doing it. So you can even be a murderer without being a murderer, okay? And maybe you can say, oh, no, I don't want to live like that. This is important also. I mean, this is something I want to say also to educators and to parents. We as adults are really afraid by the negative characters, extremely. So we only want pedagogical stories, very educational, that inspire only for the good. But the youngest can really understand what is good and what is bad. And sometimes, I found some readers who say, oh, I don't want to become this way. So we need always to trust in the power of thinking of our readers.
You're an author who thinks a lot about artificial intelligence and future fiction and writes much loved novels. I wonder why you think so much about the future.
Even though I have not so much future ahead of me, of course 40, 50 years, but not more, I think, my readers make me think about future. This is why it is so nice and beautiful to write for youngers, because youngers are future, are the future. Writing books for them force me to stay with them and to think about future. So I'm definitely interested in future, thanks to my readers, and also because I truly believe that the future, it is in their hands. Again, books and stories and literature can help them to figure out which is the future they want to shape. Saying that, is that the direction where you want to go? Actually, this topic, I'm writing dystopic novels, and dystopia has this kind of power. It says this topic is not really science fiction, it's different. Science fiction is totally different word without any reference to this one. Dystopia means it's a kind of genre in which you intercept, you find something in the actual society, and then it put it an extreme. It says, if we go on that direction, we might arrive there. So again, it's in the hand of our readers to say, do we really want to go there? Not necessarily we are going there. It depends on you. It's in your hands. So I think that thinking about future and also writing about future can be a way to support and help and sustain the new generation in shaping it in a better way possible.
I would like to ask you a question that you asked the young people in that interview. An Android lover or Android friend, is it really possible? Do you think humanity is ready for this?
The Android story, the Android topic is more advanced than we expect. There is a lot of investment, millions and millions of dollars on it. The new generation, actually this generation, will be the first who will have really to go deep into humanity, I would say. They will be the ones who has to face this question. Is it preferable to have a human lover or friend which is imperfect, which can contradict me, which has his own taste, preferences, that can be different from mine, with whom should I have to negotiate and to make compromises, instead of a perfect being, mechanical being, always saying, Luigi, you are so beautiful, Luigi, you are so great, Luigi, you are doing things great, Luigi, we will do everything what you like, okay? It's a kind of temptation. I think that my concern is that the biggest illness of our society for me is narcissism. The androids are really for narcissists, because they always, will approve you. And they will be a mirror of how great you are. And they just give you the image that you like. So I'm a little bit concerned about this. The only things I count is that I wouldn't say about emotions, because emotions can be reproduced by androids. I really count on the human thinking and the elaboration of the mind, who can really make a differences between what is human and mechanical, which is the value of human. But again, talking about the future, one of the reasons I regret to die is that I would really love to see what they will do with this story. Okay, maybe where I will be, I will know anyway.
I'm curious about this.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
We are jumping to another parts of our interview. These are funny questions.
Okay.
How do you feel when you meet children and young people?
Oh, I feel good, like the song. I feel definitely good.
Okay. How is your working and writing environment? Do you have a routine or certain rules for yourself?
My routine is no routine, and my rules are no rules. So I can write wherever I am, even if I have only 5 minutes.
When was the moment you felt you were a writer?
Am I a writer? Yeah, actually, It was not a joke. I'm a writer. It's difficult for me even now to accept that I'm a writer because the writers are the ones who made me grow. So the writers are the ones who help me, this shy and complicated boy to become a man. So writers really help me, and so maybe I don't feel ready to consider myself a writer, but actually I know I am a writer. Okay, and I discovered writer is a strange thing. You can write story, but it doesn't mean you're a writer. You need someone that makes you a writer. So I felt to be a writer the very first time an editor told me, we are going to publish your book. It's not enough to write. You need to accept that someone makes you a writer, and this is why I really don't love self-publishing, because you jump the editorial filter, which is necessary to make a good book.
I want to ask about one of the happiest moments in your life.
Oh, I have plenty of happiest moments in my life. I would say when mainly related to my family, when that wonderful girl in a corridor of our high school told me that she loved me as I love her. Then when she decided to marry me, accepted to marry me, then we married me. Then when we had our first son, the second, the third, and the fourth. So many of the happiest moments are related to my family life. And I would say also, honestly, the Andersen Prize was such a surprise when they told me, I say, oh, no, maybe you made a mistake, It was only my third book, and it was a big surprise.
What are you reading? What do you like to read?
Oh, I really love to read. Actually, I read books for children and young adults of my colleagues. I truly believe I have to learn from some of them. We are very different from each of them. I know I can pick up something that I'm missing. My favorite author in the past is Simenon, George Simenon. So I'm writing almost every single book they're publishing in Italian. And also I love the American short stories, starting from Carver and then to the actual one.
Let's talk a little about cinema. Which frame or scene of which movie would you like to be in? What are you watching these days?
I'm fond of the Purple Rose of Cairo by Woody Allen, and I like the time in which the character realized that the characters on the screen are saying something different, and he realized, and then he jumped into the film. Oh, I love this moment. I really, I say, oh, that he's a genius in having thought this kind of. I really love Woody Allen. And what I've been watching this day, unfortunately, I'm now looking a lot of TV series. I like the TV series, the way they can make a deeper analysis of the characters. Some of them, not all, not every. And especially now, the big platforms give us the opportunity to look at also TV series from different countries. So you can see the Korean, the Turkish, the Japanese, the French, the German, the Italian one. And I think it can improve in better understanding the world and sharing the culture.
Do you have any favorite cities or place to escape?
My heart goes to London, and maybe now Istanbul. Up to now was London. But I know why London, because I had a very, very oppressive mom, very, very, very over me. And when I was 11, she sent me to London to learn English. And then for me, London was freedom. I was alone, she was not with me, so I could drink Coke in the morning. Up to now, my daughter Anna, she's the younger, the oldest, makes me some jokes because, for example, for Christmas last year, she gave me a bottle of Coke with written the taste of freedom, because every morning at home, I drink some Coke from the fridge, very, very cold, and they say, the taste of freedom.
I understand why your favorite place is London.
Yeah. So London for me was, liberating from a kind of janitorial power. Okay.
Okay, then what is the weirdest question you have ever been asked?
Oh, it was strange and embarrassing when a very, 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 very young child asked me my sexual preferences. And I say, why are you asking me? Are they so important? And maybe for him were so important. It never happened, only once.
Okay. At final, we will dream of a dining table.
Oh,
Who is at that dinner? We can be anyone, we can fly. And where is this food eaten and what do we eat?
oh, you made me think. We can be anywhere with everybody. I would like to be with Scott Fitzgerald, asking him why he did such a good job with The Great Gatsby, and then what's happened to his life. And maybe we drank. We are going to drink only Coke or tea or water, just because I suspect that maybe he was ruined by alcohol. Okay, but and I truly would thank him because just in the past months I read again The Great Gatsby, and I found such a fine writing I didn't realize before. Anyway, I would invite also Hemingway at that table, for sure, and Tom Wolfe. So this kind of generation and the editor of them, because they have the same editor, okay? And I would say, wow, you are such a great editor, because if you discovered and publish all of these three giants, you are even greater than them.
Okay, then thank you, Luigi, for your fantastic answers.
Thank you. Thank you to you all.